A very good morning to all of you. Welcome to today's news analysis. We are doing the Indian Express Papers Chandigarh edition, and today is 27th of December 2023. Now, very quickly, I'm sharing my handwritten note over here itself. It's on the Telegram, of course. From here, we will see the news topics that we are covering. So, one we have is the Veer Bal Divas, and in the context of this, Prime Minister Modi made a reference of the Panch Pran, which is the target for the next 25 years, making India Vishwaguru, etc. Next is India's first winter Arctic expedition has taken place. And so, of course, we have to look beyond with the context of Arctic as well as the Antarctic expedition. What is wrong with that, right? We can do that also. Okay. Next, there is an opinion. There are actually two opinions that we are covering. So, one is with regards to the missing industrial policy. This article is in context of the PLI scheme, so criticism a bit of it. Plus, we get a reference of the manufacturing policy, that is national manufacturing policy. We get some facts concerning that. Then a very, very important article is regarding the South Asian region. The author is suggesting that the South Asian region is changing and thereby India needs to do more about it. Now, this seems to be important from GS2 international relations mains point of view. Think about it. Somebody is writing an article on South Asian region, it is changing. It's not a coincidence. The basic thing is that thinkers are contemplating on this issue and thereby UPSC is also likely to ask. It is not that it is there in the paper, so it will be asked. It's the other way around. This is important and you need to work on this. Otherwise, this question will go as a bouncer to you in the exam. And besides this, of course, these are more issues, right? EU, FTA, Eurasian Economic Union. FTA is expected. Oman, India. Again, FTA, Common Comprehensive Economic Partnership Agreement. So let's do these from the newspaper itself. So with regards to the Red Sea area, right? Israel-Gaza violence is taking place. Thereby, the Houthis in Yemen are targeting the shipping vessels in the Red Sea. Most recently, Indian vessels carrying Indians, MV Gem Pluto and MV Sai Baba, they were targeted. Okay. So this issue is taking place, right? We have already heard about the Red Sea area, the Suez Canal area becoming not so popular and looking for an alternative route going via the south of Africa. Right, so that is happening. Freight cost is increasing, all those issues that are there. So in context of this, Prime Minister Modi and Saudi Arabia's de facto administrator, Mohammed bin Salman, or de facto king, Mohammed bin Salman, have had a telephonic conversation. It's definitely in the context of this. But would the two leaders be talking mainly about this, or would it have greater dimension to it? Right. So the India-Saudi relationship hinges on the following issues. So one is, of course, the concerns with regards to the regional security. Today we are talking about the security with regards to the Red Sea region. But it goes beyond that. Even Saudi-Iran relationship affects us, or anything happening in that region. For example, Saudi-Yemen war that is taking place, that also affects us. So the regional security. Another reason is that India has a significant amount of, these countries, Saudi, Yemen, these countries have a significant amount of Indians, so Indian diaspora, and their interests have to be protected. So the government does it on behalf of the diaspora. You must have heard about the evacuation things also taking place, etc. Energy security is a core issue. Saudi Arabia is the largest exporter of oil to us. Then these countries are very rich. They have a lot of capital. They want to put this capital in other economies. India is an attractive destination for investments. Right. Gaza issues, of course, there. That is taking place. Okay, so India-Saudi relationship. We hardly see such questions. Rather, the question could be about overall India-Arab dynamics, or it could be painted in the light of India's extended neighborhood policy. So neighborhood is Pakistan, the countries in the immediate vicinity of India. Extended is neighbors of our neighbors, or maybe beyond that. So regional diplomacy. So this is a very important theme, extended neighborhood policy. And of course, post Modi, the intensification can be seen over here, and thereby this is an important topic. Uh, yeah, this issue. Recently, uh, um, it has come to light that there were a lot of Indians, they were being trafficked out to uh, some other places. For example, there were Indians who were taken to UAE. From UAE, they were to be taken to Nicaragua. Right? So this trafficking scandal has come to light. Beyond this, we do not know. So some of them, many of them were found at Paris suburb. Right? So this is an image, and then many of them has been brought back to Bombay. Okay, so now we move forward. Yes, so today's uh, Veer Bal Divas, commemorating the martyrdom of two Sahibzadas, that is the sons of Guru Gobind Singh Ji, Baba Zorawar Singh Ji and Baba Fateh Singh Ji. Right. So the Mughals wanted to get them converted into Islam, and they refused, and they were then buried into bricks. And to commemorate this, Veer Bal Divas is done on 26th of December. Right, so this was a decision taken place last year, 2022. Veer Bal Divas. Epilepsy Dragon. This is an advertorial, but we get to know that this is a major issue. Epilepsy, we should have a basic idea about this, right? So it's a non-communicable neurological disorder. It happens within the babies, but they outgrow it. But sometimes it may be there in the adulthood as well. Okay. Satluj Yamuna Canal issue is again coming up. So Jal Shakti Minister is coming to Punjab, Haryana, and farmer outfits will protest against this because negotiations on the Satluj Yamuna link. Okay, another issue that may come forward is bringing of water, the subject of water, to the concurrent list. At present, it is under the state list. So, bringing the subject of water concurrent list with regards to the interstate river water disputes. Next, Prime Minister Modi, right, in the context of the Veer Bal Divas. So, more on his speech actually. So one is, of course, he mentions about the Veer Bal Divas, so that happens. Besides, he says that India is playing a key role in solving global problems of economy, science, research, sports, and diplomacy. We can actually elaborate this further, right? What role India is playing with regards to science? What are the latest initiatives so that we can see? So economy also, research. Okay, so there'll be a lot of shortcomings if we do analysis of this. Okay. Next, there is a mention of Panch Pran. Panch Pran, five vows, five promises, five sankalp. So just a second. Yes. So what are these five vows? So these are basically the targets for the next 25 years. The next 25 years, India will be 100 years since independence. Right, so we want to be a Vishwa Guru, we want to be a superpower by that time. Okay, so these are the Panch Pran. I'll right, you can read it. So get rid of slavery, take pride in India's history, power of unity, etc. Duties of citizens, etc. It includes the goals of cleanliness campaigns, vaccination, electrical connections. Now, of course, you can go at the scheme level also for each of these. For example, in electrical reforms, electricity reforms that are there. Then there is a scheme known as Sahaj Har Ghar Bijli Yojana, right? Elimination of open defecation, usage of solar energy, piped water connection to rural households by 2024. All those things are there. That's it. Now, Panch Pran, it is also there with regards to yoga or yoga actually, right? So that is also there. So we can study from that point of view as well. The five, but that Pran over here is different, right? It is not woes pronounced similarly, but it is different. So you can read for yourself, right, from the perspective of yoga. So that also you can do. Scientists, Arctic days, no sun, no phones, polar bears for company. Which polar bears? Right. Yeah, they are polar bears only. Okay. Fine. So they are found in the northern areas, the northern hemisphere also only, not in the southern hemisphere, not in the Antarctic. Okay. So why are we talking about it? So first of all, there has always been scientists in the Arctic, Antarctic, but why are we referring to it? Thing is that this has always been with regards to the summer months. India's exploratory station over there, that is Himadri Research Station, which is in Svalbard. Svalbard is in Norway. So this is closed during the winter months when there is absolute darkness. So that much period of time, no research took place, and a lot of information may have been lost because of that. So this year, it was decided to send a winter expedition. So this was done. Okay. So during winter time, there is no sun. The sun set in an Arctic around the third week of October and will not rise till February or early March. So there is absolute darkness for 6 months, and then 6 months there will be sunlight. Now, why is it? It's because of the tilt of the Earth. It's Earth's tilted axis which is responsible for this. Right. You can see some images over here. So this is the tilted axis. The way the Earth revolves, the tilted part is pointing towards the sun during the summer solstice, and right. So and otherwise you can see the dark part is there. So the way it's rotating, but still the light is exposed. This area is exposed to the light. Okay. Mm, yes. So now, what are India's Arctic approach over here with regards to the Arctic region? If you look at the larger picture, so one is the Svalbard Treaty that we have, right? So that regulates our relations with the Arctic region. Then we have a permanent station at Arctic, which is known as the Himadri Station, which was started in July 2008, located in this region, Svalbard in Norway. In 2014, India deployed IND ARC. This is a uh, this is a submersible body, so that goes within the water and then it observes. So that this is again in Norway, right? So this question was asked in the prelims in the next year, prelims 2014 it happened. So accordingly, the next prelims question was asked. Okay. Then India also has its Arctic policy. All of this is coming under Ministry of Earth and Sciences. Okay, Earth Sciences, not Earth and Sciences, Earth Sciences. Now, if we talk about the Arctic region, there is of course the Antarctic region. What is happening with Antarctica? So, what is likely to be asked is India's station over there, research base. So, one is Dakshin Gangotri, 1983. Then we have Maitri in 88, and most recently it is Bharti. I think that Dakshin Gangotri is now discontinued. Okay, so this is it, what you need to know. And one more thing is this region is having radio silence so that it does not distort the research activities that is taking place. India Russia signed pacts on future units of Kudankulam plant. Kudankulam plant is a nuclear plant in Tamil Nadu, right? Built with the help of Russia. 2002 the discussion started, the project started. 2016 it completed, and it is generating steadily electricity up to 1000 megawatt. Okay, so very important. We got those critical technologies, reactor technology, etc. with this. So of course, more development would also take place with help of Russia. So that pact has been signed. In context of this, there is also mention of a possible Eurasian, Eurasian, it's written like this, and Eurasian India FTA. Most likely this is taking place. Eurasian region is, why are we talking with context of Russia over here? Uh, Eu- yeah. Eurasian region is the west of Russia, connecting Europe. So that is Eurasian region. It also includes part of Central Asia. So Belarus, Kazakhstan, Kyrgyzstan, so those countries are part of this. In fact, this is what can be asked in the prelims, the member countries of Eurasia. Punch terror attack, sophistication, you can see location body cam bullets, so that is taking place. They were highly trained, it comes out. And Jaish-e-Mohammed has taken responsibility of this. Plus, it had some retired Pak soldiers as well. Now we come to the editorial opinion section. So, missing industrial policy. The context is PLI. PLI is good for high-end manufacturing, but mass job creation needs a broader approach. So missing industrial policy is not that there is no industrial policy, it's only that there is some shortage, shortcoming with regards to the PLI policy. Okay. So long story cut short, we have excessive import dependence, right? Like for example, cellular mobile manufacturing, 80 to 85% of imported content is imported, right? That's a problem. We need domestic manufacturing, etc. You must have heard about the recent scheme known as the Production Linked Incentive Scheme. So let me briefly explain the scheme. This scheme is simple. It says that let's say this PLI depicts the government because the government is releasing funds for the PLI. So it says that so in ABCD, so many companies are there. It need not be startups, it can be well-developed companies. They can come, they can apply for the PLI with the government, and the government will decide which entities will get the subsidy. Right? So that would be decided. So this money is already allocated for this purpose, right? Some thousands of crores have been allocated. Let's say 10,000 crores are allocated. Okay. Now, when these companies manufacture and sell, the important part is when they sell. So they will sell what is manufactured, but there is always inventory. So those which are actually sold, so based on that selling component, the government will release funds. So this is the PLI scheme. So PLI is simple as that already these companies are there, give them incentive, they will come to India or domestic ones and they will get the subsidy once the selling is done. Subsidy is given, no distortion is taking place. Markets are not getting distorted because these companies are selling at whatever rates suits them. The government is not regulating anything. It says when you do it, we will give you subsidy, as simple as that. And it is not restricted to startups, it can be anything. And PLI is typically in high-end manufacturing, high technology, where cutting-edge technology is there, sunrise sectors, 3D printing, all those things are part of your PLI scheme, which India wants to focus upon. Even toys are under PLI. Okay, so this PLI is there. We are talking quite a bit about it. So PLI attracts investment in key sectors and cutting edge technology. Two keywords: key sectors, cutting edge technology. And I've told you it's not just MSMEs. It's not about MSMEs. Okay, so that's it. So the authors are saying that there is, when you're talking about cutting edge mass manufacturing thing is, inclusive growth or job-led growth is not being emphasized upon. The more focus is on key sector, cutting edge technology, etc. Right, so that is a problem. So he says they refer to the National Manufacturing Policy 2011, where they say that they have to they have to increase the share of manufacturing in GDP from 15% to 25%. Presently, it is at 17%, 17, 18%. So to get it over here, plus this should be done in such a way that jobs are created. 100 million additional jobs are to be created. I'll give you a better fact. 12 million jobs every year have to be created to cater for the increasing labor force, right? For job-led growth. We want that. So this component of creating jobs is not being emphasized upon. It just says you come, you sell, we will give you money. Simple as that. The logical this thing is that eventually jobs would get created, but in today's age of artificial intelligence, automation, etc., that may not take place at all. So that is of concern. So they say this has to be prioritized. They gave a reference of China also, which gave emphasis on manufacturing, but also at the same time jobs. Now the big question: should PLI be banned? Should PLI be restricted? No, PLI is very much required. We have to focus on cutting edge technologies. We have to accept the realities of the time. But at the same time, we need a job-led growth as well. For them, suitable sectors have to be prioritized. Textile, right? So those leather industry, those sectors which are job intensive, those have to be focused upon as well. Further, they say that in India's context, we don't need high skilled labor. We have abundant force. Mediocre skills are sufficient enough. If I don't agree with this, if we look at let's say Apple's Tim Cook's interview, they say that one person can do so much of manufacturing, that too a high end quality manufacturing. So that cannot be seen in other places around the world. Okay, so that was the theme. I had to do it. That's it. Seeing the new South Asia. Hmm. The new South Asia. The keyword is new. So the author says that the South Asia is changing. If we read this, this is good enough. The real question then is not about India losing South Asia, but finding ways to gain ground in changing region. The region is changing and India is losing ground to China. Losing South Asia to China. Recently, we saw Maldives. Right? They said that Indians have to evacuate it. Indian soldiers have to be removed from there. So that is happening elsewhere also. Sri Lanka, China gets Hambantota port of concern to us. So India is losing out over here. India always felt that they are the of the dream of blue water navy, the providing of the net security architecture of this region, all those things. But India is losing out of this region. And the main issue is also the changing region. So author goes back to the independence time, right, when the entire subcontinent, India, Pakistan, let's say Nepal also, all this region were part of a single political entity. But when partition happened and separate countries were created as a consequence of this. Now, come forward. So this has led to creation of borders, so increasing securitization of the borders. Now these borders have eventually turned into commercial barriers. Right? So that is one change that can be seen. The early free flow of goods and services took place. That is one change. Then, with the emphasis on globalization, with different means of globalization, regional economic cooperation has been emphasized upon. Plus, it has opened up spaces for other countries outside of the region should also interact. The West, the China, right? So it's not just about India, but it is also about other countries. So globalization has opened up. So scope for regional economic cooperation beyond. Then declining influence of West. Previously, it was the West, especially the USA's influence in this region, but that has come down. So that a vacuum has been created and giving space for China to fill in that gap. So declining influence of West Asia, giving space to China. Further, domestic politics. In India, no matter India says we have a non-interventionist policy. We will not interfere in the politics of other countries and etc. We don't have an eye on other countries' territories. But at the domestic level, the concept of Akhand Bharat, that thing is there. So that is an inner aspiration that is there. That is taking place. This is being seen by other countries also at the same time. For example, Maldives, when they say that we want Indians to be out, Indian soldiers. So obviously, somewhere the context of this has to be seen also. Okay, so India is changing. Maldives nationalist parties are coming over there. that is there. Sri Lanka also, we can see that. So the changing domestic politics affects international relations, diplomacy. So these are the changes that are seen in the region. And definitely because of this, India's space in this region is getting affected. India's influence in this region is getting affected. What India can do? India have to accept that China will be there. Expansion of China's might. China is a superpower. We cannot stop other countries from trading, dealing with China. So that is inevitable. But India needs to renegotiate and rethink its approach to this region. Regions are not static. Their geographic shape, political structure, and economic cooperation evolve over the time. Right. So South Asia is not a. We have to accept this reality and re-engage with the leaders, with the different, reinvigorate our relationship. Next is explained section. INS Imphal inducted into the Navy. Basic question: what is INS Imphal? Imphal, what is its characteristic? Is it a navy? Is it a submarine? Is it a ship? Is it a torpedo launcher? Like those things. So this comes under Project 15B. Project 15B is a class destroyer class ships or destroyer ships. Right? So they have been inducted. This is a part of Project 15B. It's also a variant of the Kolkata class of guided missile destroyer. Okay, so economy section, USD 83, oil rate is 79.51. From 76 it has come to 79. Current account deficit narrows to 1% of GDP. This is because of smaller merchandise trade deficit. Next, a credit rating agency known as INDRA, they see fiscal slippage up of 10 basis points in 2024. Okay, basic thing is they are saying that government has budget, right? The budget is moving towards higher revenue expenditure. Understandable when the elections are taking place. So more revenue expenditure, more on spends on subsidies, etc., not capital creation. So more spending is taking place while lower than budgeted nominal GDP. So GDP growth is lower. Yes, this quarter it was high, but overall it is lower. So nominal GDP lower. Revenue expenditure is rising. So tax. Okay. Now even taxation, they were expecting that it will be 1.2 trillion, right? So more or quite a bit of this fiscal deficit thing would have been bridged, but the government has asked for supplementary grants. So additional grants have been requested. So this will further lead to fiscal slippage. India Oman free trade agreement likely in January. Okay. Right. So India is the third largest export destination. Oman is the third largest, India's third largest export destination among the GCC countries. Okay. Oh, let me just show you the map and the significance of Oman over here. Okay. This is India. These are the Gulf Cooperation Council. Iran is not part of it, right? Iran is not an Arab country, so it's not part of it. Okay. Oman is a very friendly nation for us. In fact, Oman was conceptualizing oil trade through a pipeline, undersea marine pipeline also. Very friendly country. Now it makes sense. India, Oman, kind of neighbors in this region. Connectivity initiatives are also there. Plus, of course, trade and all those things are also part of it. Main thing is energy diaspora, same as for Saudi that we discussed previously. Coming to the international news, nothing much. I mean, lots happening, but nothing from exam. Israel hit central Gaza. Russian warship attacked by Ukraine missiles. That is taking place.